Look at your trash can. Right now, today, you are throwing away about 4 pounds of money. The average American household pays roughly $100 a year for things their own grandparents pulled straight out of what you just tossed. Not metaphor money, real money. Soap, candles, fertilizer, cleaning powder, cooking fat, insulation, planting pots, every one of them sitting in your garbage bag tonight, bought new tomorrow. My father did not have a trash can, not the way you do. He had a farm outside Macon, Georgia, and a hard rule that he wrote in the front of the account book. I'm going to read to you from Nothing Leaves This House, Not a Rag, Not a Bone, Not the Gray Sliver of Soap Stuck to the Dish. By the time something was truly used up on Harlan's place, it had lived 3 or 4 lives, and the man had paid for it exactly once. I'm Earl. The book on the table is my father's ledger, Harlan's, and he kept every cent and every method through the Depression. 1929 to 1939 in his own hand. I read 1 entry per video on this channel. But today, I'm doing something different because 1 page of his book isn't an entry at all. It's a list. 17 things, numbered, with a note in the margin underlined twice. Sell us the bag, sell us the can, bill us to haul it away. He understood before there was a word for it that there is more money in your garbage than in your groceries. So here's the whole list, all 17, counting down. The best one, the one that proves the whole point, I've saved for last. Let's take them back. Number 17, printed feed sacks. In the 30s, the flour and chicken feed came in cotton sacks, and the mills, who weren't fools, started printing them in florals and gingham because they knew the women were sewing them into dresses. My mother Ada made me shirts out of feed sacks. You can't buy feed in cloth anymore. That's the point. They took the cloth away. But the lesson stands. Woven cotton is fabric. A torn pillowcase, a worn tablecloth, the cotton bag your rice or flour comes in. Cut it, hem it. It's a dish towel that cost you nothing. You're buying paper towels by the case for what was already in your hand. Number 16, glass jars. Every jar that comes into your house with a lid, pasta sauce, pickles, jam, is a free storage container and a free drinking glass. Run it through the dishwasher, peel the label with hot water and a thumbnail, and you've replaced the $14 set of Mason look glasses at the store. Harlan's pantry was 40 matched jars he never paid a dime for. You're throwing them in the recycling and buying them back empty. Number 15, bacon grease. Pour it through a strainer into a tin and keep it by the stove. That's your cooking fat for eggs, for cornbread, for greens, a clean savings over the $9 bottle of oil. Cooled hard, it's the fat base for soap. Soaked into sawdust and rolled in paper, it's a fire starter that lights wet kindling. My mother kept a grease can her whole life and never once bought a stick of cooking fat between October and spring. Number 14, worn sheets. A sheet wears through in the middle long before the edges go. Cut out the good edges. You've got rags for every chore in the house. No $6 roll of shop towels needed. The softest middle pieces become quilt backing. A bed sheet dies as a sheet and lives another 10 years as cleaning cloth and bedding stuffing. Number 13, newspaper. Here's 3 uses in 1. Crumpled and packed into a wall cavity or a drafty window, it's free insulation. That's literally how the poor stayed warm. Soaked, packed in a can and dried into a brick, it burns in a stove as long as a log. And balled up dry, it cleans window glass streak-free better than the blue spray you pay $4 for. The ink works as a mild abrasive. Number 12, wood ash. This one's pure chemistry and pure money. Hardwood ash soaked in water makes lye, the alkali that turns your bacon grease into soap. Dry ash scours a greasy pot like a cleanser. A scattered handful sweetens acid garden soil the way a bag of garden lime does for $7. The fire you already lit gives you the cleaning powder and the soap maker for free. Number 11, tin cans. The can your beans came in is a seed starting pot, a pencil cup, a biscuit cutter if you cut both ends out, a measuring scoop. Harlan started every tomato in a tin can on the windowsill. You're buying little plastic pots at the garden center, 4 for $5, that he had stacked by the dozen for nothing. Number 10, stale bread. Bread does not go in the bin. Dried hard and grated, it's breadcrumbs. The $4 can at the store is stale bread someone else dried and charged you for. Cubed and baked, it's stuffing. Soaked in milk and egg with a little sugar, it's bread pudding, a whole dessert out of the heel of the loaf. When a shirt is past wearing and past patching, it's not done. Cut into strips and braided, worn clothing becomes a rag rug that lasts decades, the kind they sell for $80 at the country store now. The good squares go in a quilt. A pair of jeans dyes as pants and comes back as the floor under your feet. Number 8. String and rubber bands. Sounds small. It isn't. Harlan kept a ball of string that grew for years, every parcel tied, every bundle saved, wound onto the same ball, and a rubber band ball beside it. He never bought twine. You buy a $5 roll, use a foot, lose the rest. The discipline of winding it onto a ball is the whole frugal mind in miniature. The small thing kept becomes the supply you never have to purchase. Number 7, coffee grounds. Don't dump them. Run a second weaker pot through them in the morning if money's tight. Folks did. Dried, they go in the garden as a nitrogen feed your roses will thank you for. And damp grounds scour a cast iron skillet clean without soap and without stripping the seasoning. 1 spoonful of grounds, 3 more jobs. Number 6, bones and meat scraps. Every bone, every onion skin, every carrot end goes in a pot of water on low. That's stock. The boxed kind runs you $3 a quart, and it's mostly salt and water. A chicken carcass you'd have thrown out makes 2 quarts of real stock that turns into soup that feeds the family again. The bird feeds you twice. Number 5, eggshells. Crushed fine, they go around the base of your tomatoes. The calcium stops the rot on the bottom of the fruit that ruins half a home gardener's crop. Crushed coarse, they're a gentle scouring grit for a stained cup. The thing you scrape off your breakfast plate is 2 products you'd otherwise buy. Number 4, old tires. A worn tire was the best shoe leather a poor man had. Cut and shaped, the tread became the sole of a work boot. And it outlasted any leather sole because it was built to grind down a highway. Today, a tire is a raised garden bed, stacked too high, filled with soil. Potatoes love them. The thing the shop charges you to dispose of is a planter and a sole. Number 3, broken hardware. Nothing metal gets pitched. A busted hinge gives up 2 good screws. A broken appliance gives up its nuts, its bolts, its springs. Harlan kept a coffee can of saved nails and screws sorted rough by size. And in 10 years, I never once saw him drive to town for a single fastener. You buy a little plastic pack of 8 screws for $4 with 7 of them already sitting in your junk drawer. Number 2, candle stubs. You never throw out the bottom of a candle. Save the stubs in a jar. When you've got a handful, melt them gentle in a tin set in a pan of hot water. Never over open flame, I'll come back to that. Fish the old wicks out, set a new wick of cotton string in a fresh tin or jar, and pour. The 3rd candle costs you nothing but the wick. The candle industry sells you the same wax over and over because you keep throwing the last inch away. And number 1, the one that says everything, soap slivers. You know the little curved sliver of soap that's too small to hold and too slick to use? You throw it out and open a new bar. Harlan never did. Every sliver went in a jar. When the jar was full, my mother packed the slivers tight into a small mold or a tin. Pressed them hard together. A little warm water helps them bond. Let them set a few days. And turned out a brand new bar of soap built entirely from the ends of the old ones. Nothing left the house. That is the whole ledger in one act. The part everyone else calls garbage, pressed back into the thing you'd pay to replace. Now hear me, because this is the part nobody put in a textbook. None of this was lost by accident. There is a reason your grandmother knew all 17 of these, and you know none of them. And the reason is money. Not your savings, theirs. Look at what every item on this list became. The trash you pay a company to haul away. The bag you pay for to put it in. The cleaning powder, the cooking oil, the breadcrumbs, the garden lime, the stock, the candles, the storage containers, the planting pots, the soap. Every single one is now a product on a shelf with a price tag, sold back to you new, every week, forever. There is no money in a thing you reuse. There is enormous money in a thing you discard and replace. So somewhere along the line, between Harlan's generation and yours, the whole idea of using a thing twice got quietly retired. Left out of the home economics class, replaced by the disposable version, made to feel poor and backward when it was nothing but smart. They didn't ban it. They just stopped reminding you and sold you the convenient version and let 2 generations forget. That forgetting is worth billions a year. Now the honest part, because I won't lie to you, 2 of these need care. The candle stubs and the soap and the lye from ash all involve heat or alkali. Never melt wax directly over a flame. Set the tin in a pan of hot water every time, because wax catches fire and the fire spreads fast. I'll say it again so it sticks. Candle wax goes in a tin set in hot water, never straight over the burner. And lye from wood ash is caustic. It'll burn your skin, so it's gloves and care, the same as the drain cleaner under your sink. And no, a reused jar isn't a canning jar. Don't pressure can in a pasta sauce jar. These are reuses, not miracles. But every one of them is real, and every one of them is free. So here's where you are now. You didn't watch a list. You joined the small number of people who look in the trash can and see money walking out the door and decide to stop it. You're the kind of person who saves the sliver and presses the bar, who keeps the grease tin and the nail can and the ball of string, who owes the disposable economy a little less every single week. That's not nostalgia. That's a man taking it back. Tell me where you're watching from and tell me this. What's the last thing you paid good money to replace that you now realize you'd already thrown away? And if your own people had a trick, a grandmother who darned, a grandfather who saved every jar, put it in the comments, because that's how we gather this back, one family's memory at a time. Subscribe and stand with the folks reclaiming what was quietly taken from us. Next time, I'm opening the ledger to a powder Harlan dusted along his floorboards and his garden rows that kept the bugs out without a single can of poison from the store. Diatomaceous earth, the bugberry of the pest control industry, would rather you never heard of. It's all in the ledger.